Okay. All right, so we're recording. Hi, guys. Thank you for hopping on. I'm excited. Feels like it's been a while since we've had a team call. Last time we tried to do this, we got hit by a tornado. So hopefully tonight goes better, right? Okay, so the purpose of this call tonight, is to share with you about my trip to California and some of the things that I learned. So for those of you that might be newer, that might not know, I went to California like right at a month ago for the new leadership conference, and it was for coaches that hit a certain level in their business. So you basically have to earn the trip. It was paid for other than getting myself there, and it was fantastic. I loved it. It was so much fun. I really honestly didn't know if I wanted to go in the beginning. I qualified and I knew I qualified, but I'm like one of those people that likes to do things with a friend, you know? And so I really wasn't sure if I was going to go, if I had to do it by myself. But now looking back, knowing what I know, having been there, hands down, I would go by myself if I had to. I ended up going with someone from Tara's team. Her name's Janet Wiggins. So we had a great time, but knowing what I know now, I would go in a heartbeat by myself if I had to. It was that amazing. It was the most intimate Beachbody event I've ever been to, in that like the president and the CEO and the super trainers and all the people you see in the videos are just walking around like normal people. You can stop them and talk to them. I got to talk to Melanie Mitro, who's the top coach. I got to talk to Carl, as you guys saw on our team page. I got to talk to tons of like really high ranking people that are just amazing people, down to earth. I got to meet Raina Odell. I don't know. So it was just really amazing, fun. I got to see Micah and Ashley Smith. Incredible to see those people and kind of pick their brains and see what it is that's made them so successful, and to realize they're totally just normal moms like us trying to do the best that we can. So anyway, I want you guys to put this as a goal on your bucket list, something that you want to make happen at some point in your coaching business. To qualify, you have to hit 2-star. So that means you have to have a good sized team underneath you, but that's something that any of you can do with hard work. So put it on your dream board and shoot for it. And if it's something you want to work towards this year, let's talk, because I want to help you make that goal happen. All right, so I'm going to start by just talking about, or really what this whole call is going to be about, is what Melanie had to share with us. Melanie Mitro is Beachbody's top coach. She's been the top coach for 3 years in a row, so obviously she knows her stuff. She knows what she's talking about. And what I took away from her talks, most of all, out of everything, is number one, hands down, this woman is organized beyond belief and dedicated beyond belief, and so consistent. That has been the key to her success: being organized, planning ahead, and being consistent. Okay, so she talked about how, you know, we either fail to plan. If we fail to plan, then we plan to fail, and we all know that to be true with our health and wellness journeys. But it's also true in coaching. And if you think about it, if you sit back and think about what makes you successful in your health and wellness journeys, there are a lot of parallels between that and what makes you successful in coaching, honestly. You have to plan ahead to be successful to reach your fitness goals. You have to be consistent. You have to be dedicated. You have to be driven. Those are all the same things that it takes to be an excellent coach. And that's why in our challenge groups, those are the type of people we look for to become new coaches. People that are consistent, are driven, are goal-oriented, that type of thing, because there are so many parallels between what it takes to be good in fitness and what it takes to be good as a coach. So she talked about a lot how she plans, and that's really the key to her business, is just planning things out and then carrying out that plan. She talked about how goals are great and they are essential, but if you don't take your goal and break it down into a plan and break it down into action steps to get to that goal, then it's worthless to set goals. So she said she sits down And first, she plans out her goals for the end of the year. And then she breaks that down into, okay, if I want that, what do I have to break down? What do I have to do each quarter to reach my goal? And then when she looks at each quarter, she breaks that down into what do I need to do each month to meet that goal. So she's really reverse engineering her goal, starting with what she wants and then working backwards to figure out what steps she has to take monthly, even weekly, to reach those goals. Okay? All right, so she talks about how she does a monthly brainstorm, which I thought was a cool idea. At the beginning of each month, she sits down and brainstorms, thinks about things like what kind of free groups she wants to run, what business events are coming up, what holidays are coming up, what roadblocks might keep people from wanting to join that month. Like, she talked about how, a lot of people around spring break time don't want to be in a challenge group because they're going on a vacation during spring break. So you kind of have to be thinking about those things ahead of time. Part of what she talked about was putting into place a calendar for your team, which is something that we pretty much already do. We're kind of all on the same page when it comes to this week we're doing this event, this week we're doing this event, this week we're doing this event. So I wanted to let you guys know you need to pat yourselves on the back because in that aspect we're doing a great job. So when she plans these things out, she sits down with a calendar and she literally writes it on a calendar. So I'm going to screen share with you guys so you can see some things that I took pictures of while I was there. So hopefully you can see this. There's Melanie, top coach the last 3 years. She's obviously beautiful and in phenomenal shape. All right. So here is her calendar. I hope you guys can see that. So she creates a calendar much like we do, talking about like her coach training is starting, her 7-day free group is starting, her challenge group starts, business opportunity call, okay? But what she does over here that we don't do, and I think we could start doing, is first of all, she color coordinates it, but create free group advertisement and launch event. So on this Saturday, she is creating the material for her free group and advertisement and whatnot, and then the whole next week she is posting about that, okay? And then here's when it starts. Same thing here, create the challenge group and advertisement and launch event, then the whole next week she's doing challenge group jabs for the event that starts here, and so on and so forth. And really, she said that she plans this stuff out 2 weeks ahead of time and starts advertising and posting about things 2 weeks ahead of time. I have always made it my goal to do like a week ahead of time, and sometimes I'm not even that good at that, but I try. But she says she does 2 weeks ahead of time, and then she says she does 7 to 10 days of jabs. So a jab is like putting stuff out there that kind of is intriguing people in terms of whatever event you have coming up. So 7 to 10 days of jabs, 1 per day. So that's like if you're posting more than once a day, one of your posts each day is a jab towards that next event you have coming up.
Come here, Bee.
So I thought that was really interesting. Something that we could all try, or not even try, put into action, because obviously this lady knows what she's talking about.
I meant to put it back up. Brady pulled it down.
Let me see if I can.
Bee.
I'm going to mute you guys. Can you hear me now? Okay. I want to know. Can you guys hear me? All right. Well, I'm just going to keep going. If you can't hear me, send me a note. All right, so the next thing I want to show you is this thing. Now, if you're a teacher, like I am, you know what this is. This is a graphic organizer. So every time she has an event coming up, she fills out a graphic organizer. And I thought, why haven't I thought of this? Because I did this with my students all the time. So she, putting your goals into action. Okay, thank you. So she puts, so she has in the middle, coaching opportunity, turn your passion into your paycheck. So that was kind of her theme. And then she comes up with different posts in this graphic organizer that she's going to post for those 7 to 10 days worth of jobs. So this is one way to do it or organize it. This is another. But she literally sits down and has a planning session with herself and says, I'm going to do, this is my theme for my coaching opportunity, and here are my 7 to 10 different posts that I'm going to make on this. And then that makes it so much easier that you're doing all of your jobs to have that content right there. It makes it easier than trying to pull something out of the sky. I loved this idea of planning ahead, and then it will make it so much easier on yourself throughout the week then. So she said, then the next thing you need to do is just measure your progress. And we know this, again, this is a parallel with your own fitness and nutrition journeys. We measure our progress weekly. We have to do it as coaches too. So you need to take time, set time out of your schedule to just, even if it's 5 or 10 minutes, reflect on how this went and how you did and what you could do better next time. That's not rocket science, but it's a matter of putting it into action. And to be completely honest with you guys, that's something that I'm not really that great at, is stopping and taking time to reflect, did this work, didn't this work? But it's a good thing to put into practice. Okay, so that was kind of what she covered the first day. The second day, whenever she talked, she literally showed us her calendar and showed us how she fits in pockets of time throughout the day to do her coaching activity. So it was really interesting to see how top coach for 3 years in a row, Melanie Mitro, is able to fit her coaching hours in and still fit in time for her family and that type of thing. So I'm going to share that with you in a little bit. I'm hearing like a lot of, I'm hearing a lot of like feedback noise, but I don't know how to mute. I don't want to mute myself. So I'll just roll with it. Okay, so the second day, she talked to us a lot about, like I said, her daily calendar or her weekly calendar. See if everyone can mute themselves. You can try and mute yourself. That would be great. I'm just hearing a lot of like, I don't know how to explain it. Anyway, she talked about planning out your day and your week to put your coaching stuff in a certain time slot. Thank you, Stacey. And then carrying out that plan. It's one thing to sit down and plan it out, but then carry it out. And again, I try to do the best that I can, but I know I could be doing better. So, I mean, there's always room for improvement for everyone, right? Okay, so she said, this really made an impact on me. Don't give your family what's left of you. Give them what's best of you. So sometimes we can be so busy with taking care of our kids, doing all of the things around the house, getting our coaching tasks completed that we forget to carve out time for our family and really a quality time for our family. And really the reason that we're doing this in the first place is to, as an opportunity for our families, yes, for ourselves, but also to better our family life, right, through a financial opportunity or whatever. So we don't want to give our family what's left of us. We want to give our family what's best of us. And I know I could be better in this aspect, but that really made an impact on me, so I want to share that. So she said, you need to sit down and set a few priorities. So what are your top 3 or 5 priorities? for me, it would be like my faith, my family, healthy living, coaching, my job. Okay, those would be my main priorities. So then once you have priorities set and you're very clear about what your priorities are, it becomes really black and white what you spend your time doing, because all you have to do when some opportunity comes your way is say, does this align with my priorities? It's either yes or no. And so yes, it does, then it's something you spend your time doing. No, it doesn't, then you say, I'm sorry, I can't do it, or whatever. But when you set priorities and you have a clear idea of what is most important to you, then when things come your way that might take up time. Like she gave examples of like, I'm drawing a blank, but just like, fundraisers at school that she could help with, or just different things like that. Does it align with my priorities? If it doesn't, if I can't go and volunteer my time at the fundraiser, maybe I can send a donation or whatever. But she was like, clear, cut, and dry. These are my priorities. If it aligns with it, then yes, I'll spend time on it. If it doesn't, then I won't. And I thought that was really good. Something I need to be better at, because I'm a yes person and I want to please everyone. So I thought that was good. All right. So she also talks about how when she first started coaching, she almost ruined her marriage because she spent so much time doing the coaching stuff that she was not spending time with her family or her husband, and it was really causing a problem. So she made some changes, and she talked about how you have to make your plan, you communicate your plan with your husband or your whoever, you sync your calendars, you discuss your goals and what you want to get out. You discuss, well, this month is going to be a little crazier because I'm really pushing for this goal, or this night I have a call and this night I have this. You discuss it, and then you schedule your unplugged times. So you schedule those times in advance when you're going to unplug, you're going to just spend time together as a family. And she said whenever her and her husband got on the same page about what she had going on and with the business and the things that were scheduled, that when they were on the same page, it was so much better. And when they, they know they have that unplugged time every week, it helps. So I thought that was really a good tip too. And I'm going to show you her calendar here in a minute. It's kind of a crazy calendar. I leaned over to Janet and I was like, so like, when does she do laundry? When does she go to the bathroom? But she literally plans out her schedule so that she can be successful. It's kind of like the way we meal plan. We meal plan, here's what I have this time and this time and this time, so that we can be successful. Again, another parallel between your fitness journey and your coaching journey and how you can be successful. Use the same principles that you use in your fitness journey to be successful in your coaching journey as well. Okay. I feel like I'm going really fast and I'm rambling, but if you guys have questions, please be typing them in the comments section, okay? All right, so last tip that she gave, 2 more tips. Set time aside for your personal business, and then as you start to grow a team, set aside separate time for your team, like team business time. I thought, oh, that's a good idea. I don't do that either. So she has in her calendar, you'll see it's color-coded, time for her own personal business, and then time for her team business, like team calls. She does like one-on-one calls with coaches and different things. She's, obviously very involved, and it's a full-time job for her. But that's a really good thing to be thinking about too, is like pick one night of the week and just say, okay, this night of the week, I'm going to focus on my team and do some scheduling for my team. That will be my team call night, or, whatever. But I thought that was a good idea too. All right. She said, in terms of leading a team and working with people, spend time with people that are going to match your effort and intensity. So, in coaching, we have people who sign up, they're all excited, and they get going, and they really go through the training, and they are working through the training, and they have lots of questions, and they're excited and whatnot. So in that sense, you match their effort and intensity. And if they're running and they're excited and they're ready to do this, then you match that. But on the other hand, if you have someone that says, I want to do this, 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 and this, but then there's no action behind it, then you also match their effort and intensity. For someone at her level, she has probably hundreds, if not thousands, of coaches underneath her. And so think about that. How do you manage that? You can't unless you match those people's effort and intensity, right? So I thought that was a cool thing to think about too, is, it can be overwhelming once you start getting a handful of coaches underneath you. How do I keep up with these people? But it's not our job to drag along our coaches. It's our job to be there for them and to match their effort and intensity whenever they are getting started. It's okay to, follow up with them and check in with them, like say every couple weeks or month, but it's not your job to drag them along and make them do things. They have to want it themselves. So match their effort and intensity. Lastly, she said 80% of the time that she's working, she spends that time working on her own personal business. And 20% of the time she spends working on her team business. Again, another parallel between your fitness and nutrition journey and your coaching journey, because a lot of us say that 80-20 rule, like 80% of the time you're on track, So anyway, that was another good key thing that she shared. So I'm going to share really quick. Oh, I thought it looked like I had another message. Nope. Okay. I'm going to share her calendar just to kind of show you how she plans out her week. What is going on? My phone's dinging. Okay. Screen share. All right. So there's her graphic organizer. Okay, here's her schedule. Whoa, what'd I do? Okay, so up here, it's kind of hard to see, but up here, she schedules out her workouts and shower. This says workout-shower, 6 to 8 a.m., workout and shower. All right, now keep in mind, she stays home. She works basically full-time from home with coaching, but she goes as far as to schedule in her workout and her shower. All of the green that you see, I don't know how I'm doing that. All of the green that you see is her personal business time. The red that you see is her team business time. The dark purple, I believe, I can't really read it. I have it zoomed out somehow. I'm not sure how I did that. Then look at all the yellow. This is her family time. A lot of us work, so we don't have this much family time during the day, but it just goes to show you that if you schedule out your week and you're rigid, no, I wouldn't say rigid, but you're driven and consistent with your schedule, just like we have to be with our workouts and fitting in our workouts. Most of the time we do that the same time every day because that helps us to be as successful as possible. Same thing here. Set your work hours, set your family time hours, set your workout hour, set your team business hours, and you're going to be more successful. Is there going to be some fluctuation? Are you going to be able to follow the plan or the schedule 100% of the time? No, because that's life. But just like with a meal plan or a workout calendar, if you have it there in front of you and you've set it and it's a plan that you have to carry out for that week, you're going to be more successful than you would have been had you not had the plan in place to begin with. So she just shared this showing, and she was an open book. She was like, this is what I do, guys. And she was, like, sometimes I try things and they go amazingly. Sometimes I try things and they totally flop. Even now, as a top coach for 3 years in a row, I still fail, but I learn from that and I adjust. I reflect on it, figure out what I could do better next time. And one thing I didn't mention before that she specifically mentioned and really kind of struck me was when she was talking about doing 7 to 10 days worth of jabs. She said the first 2 or 3 days she will get crickets. Even now, as the top coach in Beachbody, for the first 2 or 3 days of her jobs, she will get total crickets. And then once people start to see her posting consistently for that week, she starts to generate interest. And so for me, that really hit home because a lot of times I might only post 2 or 3 times about my new upcoming event. And I'll get crickets and get discouraged. Where the top coach is saying the same thing happened to her, but she keeps pushing through and she keeps giving those jabs to get interest generated. So just keep those things in mind. It was fascinating to listen to her talk, and she just had so many practical tips, which is what I love. The other 2 top coaches that were there speaking, gave a lot of kind of concept ideas, like fluffy kind of feel-good stuff, which is good. But Melanie's practical tips for how to run the best possible business you can really are what hit home with me and really where I feel like I can do the most work in my business. So that's why I wanted to share these things with you. If you guys have questions, let me know because we're like right at the 30-minute mark, so we're doing good there. So you can type in the chat or I can unmute you guys if anyone has any questions. I can share these slides or these pictures that I just shared in the video with on the team page, and then you guys can be able to see them a little better than you did just now. So if you want to unmute yourself, if you have questions or comments, feedback, let me know. And also, I know I see a few of the newer coaches on the team on the call. I do not want you guys to let this overwhelm you. This was kind of a more advanced training that I went to for coaches that have hit a certain level. And so if some of this is like over your head, that's okay. But hopefully you can maybe, and my hope for all of you is just that you can maybe take 2 or 3 nuggets of information that I shared tonight with you and apply those. You can't possibly take everything. Like when I walked away from this training, I mean, so much got dumped on us. There's no way you could possibly take everything and put it all into place. You have to pick a few nuggets and start there, and then maybe pick a few more. And you know what I'm saying? You can't do it all at once. But so again, like with tonight, I dumped a lot on you, but think about it, reflect on it, and figure out maybe like 1, 2, 3 little nuggets that you could start putting into place. All right? Anybody have any questions? Give me a thumbs up or some love or something if this was helpful.
I have something to say.
Yeah, go ahead, Becky.
Kristen,
You're cutting in and out. You're cutting in and out. Are you able to type it or not?
I know it's probably too much to say.
Okay, go ahead. You're doing okay now.
Okay, I was just gonna, if anybody is on that, I think it's the Tribe United team page.
Mm-hmm.
They did those 6 trainings that Craig Holliday did the last 2, and a lot of what you mentioned from Melanie, he talked about, and he has like two calls for an hour each. They were really, really good. If nobody knows yet, I would recommend kind of just listening to him because he goes into a lot of the details of the same stuff.
Nice. Thank you.
All that, and was like cutting it out the whole time.
Got it. I got it, I think. Thanks for sharing that. Let's see, someone typed something. The goal setting and breaking it down to pick even one goal, then set up your action plan. But most important thing is having a plan. Yes, Brittany, thank you for sharing that. She having the plan, but then she really drove home the fact that you can have a plan that goes nowhere. It's taking it and putting it into action, right? Taking action steps. So having a plan and doing nothing with it isn't going to do you any good. Putting a plan together and then taking action with that plan, right? What actions do you have to take to get you to your goals, she said. So Yeah.
I also liked, so I actually just read a book, and I was in a book club today talking about it. And it was kind of talking about similar stuff where you set those SMART goals, which is setting goals, but then setting your action plans to achieve them, making sure they're, actually attainable goals, and you can actually put them on a time frame, sort of like she did by breaking it up, like what she wants to get done this month, what she wants to get done this week. But going back to not just setting up SMART goals, but you need to think about stretch goals, which is what she does by setting what she wants to accomplish at the end of the year. And it can be as far-fetched as it may think, because that's what stretches you to do something different, getting farther and reaching something that you didn't think you could possibly do. And even this is not even necessarily for coaching too, but it can go for your fitness, it can go for your health, different things like that. That you can get, you may never think you could get abs, but, unless you put that as one of your goals, you're not going to set up steps to get there. So that was kind of went right along with exactly what you're saying, is that she sets these goals at the end of the year, which could to us maybe seem unattainable. But because she does that, she can go backwards and break that down to what she needs to do day to day. So you don't necessarily have to get overwhelmed, because sometimes coaching can be overwhelming, thinking about looking at everybody else's goals and trying to match yours with theirs. But sometimes it's just picking one thing you want to focus on and moving forward with that.
Definitely. I love that. Thank you. And I'm glad that you said just this little tidbit about how this doesn't even have to be about coaching, setting goals. That's one of the things that I love about coaching is we learn all of this stuff that can be applied to coaching and can help us be successful as a coach. But all of this stuff that I just talked about, you could apply to any aspect of your life, any aspect, and help you be more successful in that aspect, whether it's becoming a better mother or strengthening your relationship with your spouse or with God, implementing a budget, I don't know, whatever it is. These concepts can help you be successful in life in other areas. And that's what I love about coaching is it has not only helped me in the area of health and fitness, but I've been able to apply the concepts that we learn throughout all of these trainings to other areas of my life, just to, in general, be the best person I can possibly be in all aspects. It gives me goosebumps when I talk about it. Do you guys get get goosebumps for that? The other thing was that, I had something else, Brittany, from what you said that I liked. Oh, I know. Setting those stretch goals. I think of looking at a big, huge mountain and wanting to climb it and being like, holy cow, that mountain is huge. But instead of focusing on that big, huge task, you focus on what steps you are taking today, right? So you're going to get from here to there today, and you're going to look down and you're going to watch your taking your steps. And then tomorrow, and then the next day, and a month from now, and all of a sudden you look up and you're like, holy crap, how did I get here? How did I get to the top of this mountain? It's because I wasn't focused on the big, huge, scary task. I was focused on the day-to-day steps that I need to take to get me to the task. So totally true in coaching, in your own fitness and nutrition journeys, and in life in general, in any aspect of life. Like I just said, what we learn as coaches can be applied in our lives in many different ways. So anybody else have anything to say? I hope that this was helpful. And like I said, my goal is just for you guys to maybe take a couple little nuggets home and think about them and try to apply them. And hopefully we can all, grow a little bit. Thanks for being on the call. I appreciate it. I declare that we need a coach get together very soon, because I feel like seeing you on the computer is not good enough for me. So we'll have to get something together soon. I miss you guys. Oh, there's so many of you. I see Jamie's face. I see Melissa's silhouette. I can't see your face. So good to see you guys, though. Thank you for hopping on. Hopefully, just a couple announcements. Not this weekend, but next weekend is Super Saturday. If you're in the area, general vicinity, April 8th, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. April 8th is the next Super Saturday. If you're in St. Louis or around St. Louis in this Southeast Missouri area, make every effort to go because it's a quarterly event. Super Saturday is a quarterly coaching event, and it is so fun to meet everyone in person, to hear a top coach talk, to hear from corporate. And when I listened to the national wake up call this past week, they talked about there's going to be some big announcements at Super Saturday. So I bet you they're going to be announcing a new program, don't you think? I think they almost have to be. Maybe some new products too, because they are going to be coming out with some new stuff. So I'm excited. We're going to hear some announcements. We're going to get to do a group workout. It's like, what's the time, girls? It's like
9 to 1.
That's what, okay, 9 to 1. So make every effort to go. Have we heard, Heather, have they replied to you about the whole kid thing? Okay, I'm going to send them a message because I want to know. I would like to take one of my daughters. Either one of them, I think, would have fun just, kind of seeing what we do as coaches. So I will let you know what I hear, but make every effort to go. And I'm going to make myself a note to post it on the page that you guys have the link that you need if you want to go. I believe it costs $20, so it's not a big investment or anything. It's so much fun to all be together. So thank you for hopping on. Love you all, and have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.